So today is going to be part 2 of my little DIY Weekend Warrior project where I am laying Traffic Master Deluxe Vinyl Tile, the light gray travertine, and as you can see behind me, my beautiful floor. In between tiles, I'm using this size 3/16. And so these are the little spacers that you put in between the tiles because I will be grouting these. So these are the little spacers, but what I've done is I've cut them in different shapes. So I have some that are just kind of like a V shape that you can stick in a corner. And then I've got some that are just some edging, so you can put between. And then some is sort of like a T shape. You see that? And so you just cut them with scissors. Some of the items that you really need for my grouting, I'm going to be using, this is a pre-mixed grout I bought from Home Depot. You see the color is kind of a darker color. And then I've got my little, I guess they call this a grout float. So I'll be using this. So you see the floor, you see the gaps. This is my favorite part right here, is this edging. So you definitely want to space it out so you don't have, so you have kind of big pieces on the ends too. Hi there, so I have found 2 techniques that are working the best for putting the grout in this deluxe vinyl peel and stick tile. The first technique is, so here's the grout that I'm using. Now you do want to be quick with this because you don't want to get a film over the tile because it's really hard to get off. So you kind of have to work kind of quick. So the first technique is to actually just get a bunch of the grout here and just manually go like kind of put it in just like this. You want to get off the excess. Pretty straightforward. Let me get off the excess off of there. And then you have your line. And you want to take, you want to have 2 damp sponges, and then you want to just kind of go over it really with a very light touch to get rid of the excess. Okay, so now that I've gone over it one time, you can see how dirty that is. I'm going to go over it again with my clean one. Like I said, very light touch. You don't want to take the grout out of the spaces. You just want to get it off of your tiles. Okay, so then that's my second one. Now what I want to do is I want to go over with my rag. Just kind of get up anything. If you see any areas, just kind of dry it like that. And then you're done. Now you could actually do a bigger space, but I'm just showing you like a sample. And then when you watch the video and you see how I'm doing like the whole space, you can kind of see the areas that I'm doing. Now the second technique is very similar, but what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the actual float. So this is called a grout float. And with this, now because I'm really low in this, I have to use this to get it out, but normally you could just use the grout float to kind of stick in here. But let me show you this technique. So this, I'm going to go ahead and just blop a bunch on there. And then I'm going to take my float and kind of go at an angle. And you're kind of just shoving it into the space. You see? So it's very similar. It's just a little bit smoother with this, actually. And then when you go over it, look how much more you can really get up. So let me go a little bit more over, just so I can be productive, because I'm doing the very last bit of my grouting. So I don't even know if this part is in the shot, but so you go like that, and then you go over, get up all the excess. Okay. And then once again, let me clean off my sponges. I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to go over it really lightly. your second sponge to go over as a final pass. And then I personally like to use the rag. This stuff is very hard. Once it dries, it's very hard to get off of the tile. So you want to really get as much off up front as you possibly can. Okay, there you go. There's your two techniques. Out of the two, I think they're both pretty effective. The float is maybe a little smoother, so I'd probably go ahead and go with the float. All right, hope that helps. Okay, I'm officially done with my project, and I wanted to show you the final product. That is that area that had the old refrigerator that I had to do a lot of patchwork on. Go down. How good it looks right there. It's all over there. The edge pieces. We still need to do the trim and the transition pieces, but all of the tile and all of the grout is done. Absolutely fabulous. Okay, hope that was helpful.